It was nice to be home. Our crowd is continuing to be amazing, so it was a long time that we didn't get to play here. Thanks you guys for being here. The coverage is really important, and we value it. Minnesota's a really good team. I told the team a number of times they had the same number of wins as us. They're at the top, section of the conference. And I thought we took care of business. We didn't know that Rhea wasn't going to play until this morning, so I thought other people stepped up, finding different ways to win. I think our freshmen who got significant minutes were really, really good, and they keep getting better, which is exciting. And at the same time, I think our standards are really high, and we could have been cleaner defensively and offensively in that second half, so we'll have some good film to learn from it as well.
Lindsay, 23 for Kiki, double-double. How are you seeing her continue to, over these last few months, just get more and more comfortable in what you guys are trying to do offensively from the situation she came from at Stanford?
Yeah, I don't think too much about the situation she came from anymore, but I do think our whole team is getting better at live reads and taking what the defense gives us. I mean, she's a focal point of teams' defenses. She's earned that. She's one of the best players in the country, so she rarely sees single coverage. And she's playing with really creative guards also, so I think she's always leaned into her teammates, her own abilities, getting in a rhythm. So we try and get her as many looks in transition as we can because she's so fast. She does a great job of spacing the floor when there's a crowd, and her jump shot was really working tonight. We know that if we get a one-on-one, she can score on anyone. And we had a week of no games, and all the players are putting in extra time just in mini kind of workouts on their game. And we talked about her making a ton of threes in her workouts, and she has. And it was great to see that, come to fruition tonight. But maybe there's another game where they don't give us that, and she gets dominant in a different way. We believe in her just like we do in everybody else and their ability to make live reads.
Lindsay, Juju was over 10 in that first half. Can't imagine that has happened very often. How did you see her just handle that in terms of her headspace, and then what did you see just in terms of her adjusting coming into that second half?
Yeah, I mean, I thought her teammates really lifted her up. The fact that, people are going to continue to give us open threes when she's crowded and stuff, and we continue to knock them down. This is the second game in a row that I think we've made 11 threes. Will, I think, eventually make people really have to make decisions. But I think she's a very mentally tough, human being and basketball player, and, finds a way at some point to figure it out. I believe that if she misses 5 in a row, the next 5 are going to go in. I thought she got to some really good looks in the second half using screens, getting out in transition, spraying it. It was time to spray it. And I don't think any of us were surprised that the shots went down in the second half.
Kennedy and Avery right here. You guys, as Coach pointed out, that Rhea was out. Talk about how you guys, that changed your mindset going into the game, or what did you guys see needed to be done once you found out that she wasn't going to be playing today?
Rhea is a really big vocal leader for us, so that was something that we kind of had to pick up throughout this game. Obviously, first time today, but I think since he stepped up this game and played really good minutes for us, and really dominating on the rim, I think them up in the first half.
Just to echo what she said, I think that Rhea is a really big vocal leader for our team. Offensively and defensively, she's super interactive with everything, all the plays. Defensively, if anyone needs second line help side, she's always there. But I think that C definitely stepped up, and I think that, all the freshmen and even everyone that got significant minutes tonight, I just think that everyone had a really good play tonight for Rhea.
This question is for Avery and Kennedy. Coach talked about, like you just said, freshmen stepping up tonight. You guys playing significant minutes like this tonight. What do you feel like this do for your development?
I think that, we've had a week off, so I think that all the work that we've been putting in this whole week, prepping for this game, and just honestly, working as a team to get better, grow what we need to grow with. But I just think that all the opportunities, getting better in games, it's one day at a time, one game at a time, and I think that that's just been the most important part for the freshmen.
Lindsay, you pointed out post-game to the crowd, this begins a stretch of 4-10. You guys are going into a pretty hyped-up situation on Sunday in 2 national TV games coming up too. Just how much do you manage this with the 2 road games, going cross country, and kind of being a focal point?
Yeah, I told them, welcome to my life in the NBA for 2 years. That's what every 10 days was like. They've been great at taking on every challenge and being present. I think it's my job and our staff's job to manage off days and recovery and sleep and nutrition and just giving them all the tools they need to just show up and play. And I think when it's been time to do that, they've really done that. They haven't complained about travel or anything. A little bit about the cold in Indiana. We didn't like that, but they've been great. And so I know they'll continue to do that. But I'm also pretty transparent with the stretch that we have in front of us. I think they like the big stage. They like the national TV games and the crowds and everything that's going on. We haven't shied away from that one bit. But there's challenging teams ahead, and I think everything that we face is a chance for us to like lock in and get better. So we know that we've got a big road trip coming up. It's our last long road trip of the Big Ten regular season. They keep getting a little bit closer and closer to home, so we'll be ready to go. And we take one game at a time, but understanding that this is a stretch that is important to us and will pose a challenge that I'm looking forward to seeing how we attack the next now 9 days. 3 games in 9 days.
This is a question for either of you to answer, but Coach, you always take the time at post-game to thank the crowd for coming here and how much the game of women's basketball continues to grow. With National Women's Sports Day next week, how are you taking in this moment and also the players that you guys are freshmen here in this prestige program?
I love National Girls and Women's Sports Day. We kind of feel like that's part of our platform every day. I never take it for granted. This crowd that comes out for us because of how much it's grown over the last couple years. I think the opportunities that they have here are unbelievable. I mean, I have these 2 freshmen and more, playing on a top 4 team in the country, incredible minutes. And I hope they're take some time to appreciate that. And also they're so driven to get better. And I told them in there, like, you guys are so good. Let's appreciate that and also raise the bar. And for me, then the message to girls and women, across the country about participation in sports, we all know when girls and women are encouraged and have opportunities, maybe they become the next Kennedy or Avery, but maybe they just become more confident and, feel more prepared to go to college or be in healthy relationships or be a CEO in a boardroom. So whatever we can do to pour into that concept, we love to do that. And with National Girls and Women's Sports Day coming up, like, we'll celebrate that as much as we can.
Lindsay, a couple times in that first half, you saw Juju kind of like visibly frustrated with herself at times, or maybe pressing. Like for you as a coach, in your second year of your relationship with her, in those moments when you see that, how do you handle it? Do you encourage her to keep working through it? Do you encourage her to step back and maybe kind of find the flow, or do you not just kind of let her do her thing?
I mean, I think we all know how many eyes and how many media members and how many questions there are about that, but all of our players get a little bit frustrated with themselves sometimes when we make a mistake. And I think for all of us, that's one of our things, because we have a lot of high achievers, and it's just, I try to do what I can for any of them in those moments. I do think, to show up as my best self for Juju, it's to ask her a lot of times, like, what are you seeing? This is what I see as the read. What do you see as the read? And just let her work through it, the same that I would with anybody else. And a lot of it's just dialogue. And I have a lot of trust in her. I have a lot of trust in her IQ of the game and her feel for herself and with the teammates. But there's 5 of them out there. There's 15 on the team, and we all need to kind of pour into one another, lift one another up, and figure out how to be the best team possible. And she handles a lot, on her shoulders. And so I think everyone just kind of wants to allow her to be her and still, connect with what's going on with everybody else. And I try my best to do that.
Hi, guys. Hi, Kennedy or Avery. You guys, so NBA players don't have homework or class, though. So I just wondered, obviously it's all new to you guys, but what has this grind been like, and what's been the most challenging parts of it?
I feel like the most challenging part of just adjusting to being a freshman in college, especially playing at a super high level, is just balancing it all, balancing all your different classes, when you're getting food between classes and lift and then practice, finding time to do your homework, but then at the same time, like, embracing the situation. And like, we're so blessed to be here and playing on this stage and being able to go out and play in front of all these fans and just having that platform. I think that it's just embracing that, but as well as like taking every single moment seriously and like just being able to find the balance between classes, taking time for yourself, practice, and kind of just trying to show up your best to all of it.
To add to what she said, I think the resources that we have here have allowed us to be ourselves and just grow as freshmen coming in, whether it's schoolwork, on-court stuff. I think it's just been good.
Andrew and then Ryan, last question.
Avery, you've been 8 for 13 in the past 2 games from 3-point land. I mean, have you changed anything before that game, or are you just on fire and have the hot hand right now?
Not really. I mean, I'm always in the gym, like whether that's outside of practice or during practices. But I think just I'm getting more comfortable with the role and the attention that other people on our team draw. I think that I'm doing a better job finding gaps and trying to put myself in the best position to be a pressure release for them. Obviously, we know Juju, Kiki, Rhea, all of them draw a lot of attention, and honestly, anyone on our team can get a bucket if they wanted to. So I feel like it's just being a pressure release, and I think I'm getting better at that. So.
She just started shooting like 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's
just started.
Avery, piggybacking off of that, what has been the hardest part about sort of finding your way as a complementary piece like that? I'm sure you've scored a lot in your day, but what's been the toughest part of that transition?
I think being a shooter is just pretty mental. I feel like my shot's pretty consistent, but I just think trying to find my role, like I said, we have a super great team, and there's a lot of people that can score, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing, but I think just like I said, trying to find my role, where should I be when somebody has the ball in the paint or when someone's driving? Should I lift? Should I stay? Trying to read that, or even reading what my defense is doing, just to put myself in the best position. But I think that honestly, it's just kind of a more mental thing. Just every single time I catch it, I'm looking at the hoop first, and I'm thinking that it's going in. Like, just that mental piece, I think, has been really important.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.